talking with Robert Mitchum, as you must know by now. Let's talk a little bit about what can be a dull subject, but about success, because you've made about 100 films. And Mike Nichols gave an interview one time where he talked about success, and he said he realized after a lot of time thinking about it that what made him, part of the drive was not the so-called desire to express yourself, which is what they always say about artists and actors, but in a sense a kind of getting even with certain people in the past. I'm misquoting them maybe a little bit, but that was the idea of it, that I'll show them, people who'd made his life miserable when he was younger. And that rings a bell, I suppose, with a lot of people. Would it with you?
I'm sure that it's a valid motivation, because a fellow with whom I worked, well, the last film I made, told me in a deeply alcoholic moment that at a point he said, if I ever get out of this, and I was shocked, really, to hear it from him. But
meaning I'll get certain people, or
no, I would just rise above it, and be successful at any cost, or at any moral cost, possibly, or at.
Maybe I don't understand you. By this, did he mean the drinking?
No. He just meant, well, actually, he was in a situation, like he was in a jungle. Mm-hmm. And he said, if I ever get out of here, and it was through, he was in service to.
Yeah.
He said, if I ever make it out of here, nothing's going to stand in my way.
And that carried him.
Well, he said it.
Yeah.
As I say, I was shocked, because I know him and he's a very gentle man. But
do you have any general theory about what drives people in Hollywood? So many
fear.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Of what?
Fear of failure.
Yeah.
And and the fears that are common to everybody. Fear of being run over, so you get a big, strong car. What the hell?
Yeah.
Drive around in a tank.
What about ones who've gone over the brink from Hollywood success? Marilyn Monroe, maybe, or Montgomery Clift. Could you put him in that category?
Well, those are individual instances that I'm sure are no more, probably a bit more endemic to that climate than. But in any general, hectic, frenetic business, I think it pretty well. Especially a business involving people, because you become so involved with, and I'm sure believe people you have no right to believe, or it's distortive, I should think, to values, to regular, important human values.
Mm-hmm. But do you buy the idea that show business is a sicker profession than any other? You've been in so many.
No.
Not worse?
No. Not at all. Not at all, because I've seen the cold planning of corporate business, the steamrolling right through people and lives and purposes, and you have too, so certainly. And I regard that as sick.
Yeah. What about politics?
I'm really not qualified to talk about politics. The only thing I know that I recognize in politics is the need for power, and I deplore power. The use or abuse of power. I think power is collective. I think truly power is to the people. Mm-hmm. And I don't trust politicians to be truly representative of the people. Maybe I'm sure that there are really, men of high purpose and great sacrifice. I know I've seen many of them,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them die at it. But by and large, they become corrupted by power, I should think. That's my experience.
You've never been close to it or urged to go into it? Or
no way.
Have any desire to?
I have vices enough for that.
We have a station break, and we'll be right back. Talking with Robert Mitchum, how much schooling did you have? You ran away from home, they always say in the publicity flyers.
Well, I kept going back, and I don't think I ever graduated. I think they finally gave me some sort of an honorary graduation. Mm-hmm. I don't remember whether it was from Harran here in New York or from Felton High School down in Delaware. But I do know that somebody in trying to find me, went to, oh, I know, it's a fellow that publishes, works for a publishing company. He's a, you know, artist and layout designer that publishes like house journals and school yearbooks, things like that, you know. And so he had to visit all the schools down on the Delmarva, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia Peninsula. And every other school claimed me. They said, oh, yeah, he used to go to school, except the school I went to. Never heard of him.
What had you done to
Never,
them?
I don't know. They erased me.
Were you ever kicked out of school?
Often, yes.
What did you get kicked out for in those days?
I can't tell you. I really cannot tell you. It's too shocking. I really can't tell you.
Could you tell me something close to it, what it would be like?
Well,
what if...
one time involved a trombone in the school band.
Oh.
And I hope I'm forgiven.
I can't imagine, but I'm starting to.
And the other time, it involved a shower cap in the girls' shower. And they just came right in straight from a basketball game, you know, and just threw their shower caps on. And unfortunately, it was like one of my favorite teachers. But I was the one that laughed the hardest, so they nailed me.
Did you say you went into the girls' shower room and put a cap on?
Oh, sure.
Well, that's where to do it, I guess, if you're going to... Yeah. They frowned on that in those days. It wasn't a progressive school.
Oh, God, no, they thought it was the vilest. My mother defended me. She said, do you think he's you know, that decadent, that degenerate? They said, yes, we
And they thought they had the evidence right there.
They thought so, yeah. But I laughed a lot. But they always brought me back, I must say. They finally gave me a saxophone to entertain myself with. And changed my whole life.
Yeah.
A lot of other people's lives. You know, I don't know. They kept dismissing me and expelling me. You know, I told them, I mean, by law, I must go to school. And I was a precocious child, you know, because I would have graduated when I was 14, like, you know, but they'd pick you up on the street. I said, how old are you, kid? Why aren't you in school? I said, well, I graduated. No way. You know, 14, you know,
Were you big at 14?
No, I looked like a ferret. I was a little nervous, skinny.
You're kidding. Well, is this all plastic surgery? How could you be...
No, as soon as I got for to eat, I came on.
Yeah?
I went out to California and started picking things off the trees, you know. Yeah. People out there are pretty dumb. You know.
Are your friends largely outside the movies or in the movies?
Well, that's you know, kind of an awkward question because I really don't have too many very close friends. Obviously.
By choice?
Probably by choice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's not your sharp tongue or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. I'm strangely welcome in a lot of places, but I just don't think I have the energy to go.
Because I always hear that they always say one of the best liked guys in Hollywood. They say that about a lot of people.
Because I'm absent most of the time.
But do you say things you regret if you go to a party or something? I take it you don't like the cocktail party circuit and the.
I don't mind it. You know, it's fine if you feel well, and it's a pleasant. A lot of times it's fun. You know, because you run into a lot of very pleasant, convivial people, and I enjoy it sometimes. I get drunk sometimes, and I get a lot of static from my old lady because I'm the last to leave or things like that. You know, never eat, you know, things like that. And hostesses wringing their hands because it's lovely. Why don't you eat later? Yeah, I'll have a double. You know. But it's. First of all, I mean, I love the British expression when you go to a party and they say, what's this in aid of?
What's it in aid
of?
What's
it in aid of, yes.
Meaning what?
What's the event, you know?
Oh, that word. Yeah,
Who's, I mean, is it a pickpockets convention? Is it, you know, what? What's happening? Who's selling what, you know? Who's got a client or who's, you know, whatever. You know? And that makes me nervous because we give parties at my house and just for the hell of it, you know. People love it, too, really. We have great parties. My wife is a great hostess, and she really has great parties. And nobody's bugged. I mean, we don't have photographers there or reporters. If we do, we still their tongues.
But if you get those invitations that say a party will be held for the screening of the new movie so-and-so, and we are sure that some very exciting people will be there and that you will please join us, RSVP.
They don't say that. They don't go on like that. They just give you the name and the date. You know? They don't say anything about exciting people. I mean, they're afraid. They leave themselves open there, you know, for a lot of criticism. Well, if that's what you call exciting, go play in your own sandbox.
You know, being a reb... Oh, I can't start this. We have a message. I want to get to this. We'll be right back.